Jurassic World Rebirth is out in theaters, the 7th installment of the Jurassic franchise. New set of characters and new story this time around, so you can basically jump in here without seeing any of the previous ones if you so choose, but I'd say that's a questionable choice. This was directed by Gareth Edwards, who previously made, amongst other things, Rogue One, The Creator, and the 2014 Godzilla. Stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, and Rupert Friend. The story follows a group of mercenaries hired by a pharmaceutical company who sail out to an island containing a derelict, abandoned R&D dinosaur facility in order to get the DNA samples of 3 very specific dinosaurs, the largest land-faring one, the largest sea-faring one, and the largest flying one, in order to make new medication for humans. But en route they run into a random family of idiots who are in trouble, and of course the family also ends up on the island on their own little side adventure. So the Jurassic franchise is interesting in the sense that every single entry in the franchise has been worse than the previous one. And the last movie in the series, Dominion, has been so offensively bad that I thought at that point in the series we have reached rock bottom, and from there the only way you can go is up. Sadly, Rebirth proved me wrong, and it is digging for the Mariana Trench of quality. It is an absolutely worthless movie, terrible in every aspect, offering no redeeming qualities or a reason to see it. It is an act of double theft. First, the filmmakers robbed the studio by taking money for making it. Now the studio is stealing money from the theater-going audience in the form of selling tickets. It made me angry to the point that I wanted to shout at the screen many, many times. And I think it is in serious contention for the worst movie of the last 5 years relative to the size of production. I mean, obviously, it's easy to come up with terrible, low-budget, independent horror movies when you, but when you consider the names behind this film and the amount of money spent and the sort of size of production and adjust for that, Rebirth might just be the winner. To start off, the script is absolutely criminal, and David Koepp should be imprisoned for writing it and receiving money for it. The story opens with a prologue that is completely stupid, doesn't make a shred of sense, and perhaps worst of all, is completely unnecessary and has no impact on the rest of the film. It provides no information that isn't told to the audience later, and if instead of a security breach, the facility in the story was simply abandoned for money reasons, just like the movie says about dinosaurs and the island in general, it would still result in the exact same situation and the exact same movie going forward. Then when the actual story starts, the first scene has a conversation where Rupert Friend says to Scarlett Johansson that research says that soon 20% of people on Earth will suffer from coronary diseases. That is 1 in every 5 humans. And listen, if a movie feels the need to explain how much is 20%, you know you're in trouble. You know it was written for morons. Worse, it was written for morons who are not paying attention. The same information is constantly repeated by the same characters, as if to ensure that if someone is watching this while playing on their phone, they can keep up with the story because they are informed every single scene what exactly is going on. The film has no logic or working mechanics to it. It keeps contradicting itself multiple times and breaking its own rules. The world building is horrendous because things that are established one moment are discarded 5 minutes later. The characters have zero personality and absolutely no growth. The only excuse for an arc is with Scarlett Johansson, who starts the movie wanting a lot of money and at the end decides, I don't want a lot of money because my friend and a hot scientist I recently met told me I shouldn't want a lot of money. Aside from that, nobody changes, nobody grows, nobody learns anything, there is no message, no subtext. The random family of idiots is infuriating because they keep making awful decisions and being protected by plot armor. The story of the family is also completely disconnected from the supposedly main plot of the movie for most of it, and yet we actually end up spending more time with that family than with the mercenaries, reversing the order of importance between the main and the side plots. The casting is stupid because the boat of mercenaries consists of exclusively chiseled, gorgeous Hollywood people who do not look like grizzled veterans or pharmaceutical CEOs or boat captains. And the only people who get eaten by dinosaurs in the film are the ones who are not pretty and are not main characters, and in some cases we don't even know their names. In fact, at the very end, the movie does a bait and switch with a character sacrifice, which apparently was a changed ending from test screenings because the execs decided that they don't want a main character to die, and it's just awful. The humor is not funny, the action is not exciting. Most of it was spoiled by the trailers anyway. There is no tension because you're never afraid for any of the named characters, nor do you really care about them. In fact, in all the scenes with the Rando family, I was just actively hoping they would get violently killed soon and that I wouldn't have to watch them anymore. The movie looks ugly with the exception of a few individual shots. It also cannibalizes John Williams' score for the original film, using it in the most predictable, cliched moments you can imagine. It is a movie devoid of any personality, character, heart, and soul. It has no creativity or passion. It is a product made to be background entertainment, and even as that, it manages to be absolutely useless. I hated every minute of it, and I wish I could have my 2 hours back. If you value your time at all, forget that this movie exists.